Ladies and gentlemen, let's finish this crap up.
You have my attention.
So, hi, Raw. Got you a corpse thing.
Time grows.
So you managed to defeat one of the Veil's would-be conquerors. A notable feat, but Azeroth enemies are innumerable. Burning Legion, the Old Gods, the Void. Sooner or later the scales will tip against this world. But I have been mistaken before.
The end approaches.
Your kind have proven me wrong in the past, so I give you a chance to do so again. The Titan structure which houses the engine of Nalaksha spans the entirety of Pandaria, and there are more ways to reach it than just the Mogushan vaults. There are many such routes, but the closest will be the Mogushan Palace. The chambers beneath the palace are interconnected within the vaults.
Do what you can.
So, all of the Titan facilities on Pandaria are connected. Fascinating. Well, no sense standing around while the world is ending. To Mogushan Palace!
Yeah, I was about to say, how about all the facilities? Listen, Maverick is cool today. Cruise control for cool. What are my thoughts on Ashura's model? Amazing, 100%. Like, very cool. I like how they designed her hair, which is just bioluminescent tentacles. I love how you could tell how much time she spends on keeping herself looking pretty, even though she's actually like this abomination monster thing. I love how expressive her eyes are. You know, what's really irritating is I'm so frustrated because I'm not done with BFA yet, but this is legit. Like, we're in the good stuff here. Or if you Huthor, we're in the best stuff here. Take your pick.
Wrathion said that the secret passage is hidden beneath the palace. We need to find a way down there. Huh! The statues are coming to life!
Oh no. I don't think it's an illusion. I think, like I said, I think she spends a lot of time and effort to look as good as she possibly can, and that's what she's come up with. Now, I'll tell you what's going to piss me off. We're going to get to Shadowlands, which by all accounts should be the second shortest of all the expansions. Really, Maverick? Wow. Wow. Okay. And it's going to be long. It's going to be longer than I expect. It's going to be too damn long, and I'm going to be sick of it by the end of it. What do you want to bet?
Looks like defeating the guards opened the door. Let's go, champion.
By all accounts, it should not be long.
The Mogu are known to lead traps for unwary intruders.
It's okay. I'm tiny. I can slip between them. Oh, hello. Can I go, please? On the plus side, I feel a lot better after laying down. I needed that. I was starting to lose the ability to concentrate. Oh yeah, I think once we've gotten past the 4 zones, we will be through a huge portion of it. Probably most of it, I would say. There is an asterisk there, though. I'm really not sure how long the Covenant campaigns are going to be in practical application.
That switch must open the way forward. Just watch your step around those tiles.
Also, I'm going to need to buy that thing that boosts my rep, which I don't remember where it is, but we'll figure it out. Yep, all 4 campaigns are different and have to be done. No, there's no way we can start Shadowlands tonight. There's just no way. I've already essentially skipped lunch to be here.
A hidden staircase!
I really like their trap events in BFA, didn't they? It's not a complaint. I like them too. It's just interesting.
I didn't see a way to open the door. There must be a switch somewhere. We best start searching.
I mean, we haven't even technically met Wrathion yet. We don't even have the cloak yet. For Christ's sakes.
The statue! Of course! You've got a sharp mind, hero.
Yeah, I've played Zelda games before.
That did it! Now, let's see where this passage leads. Maybe we should have brought a torch.
Nah, it's fine. I can see. I can see just fine.
Been a while since... Wait, I think we're here. Now, let's find the engine. What in the name of Azeroth is going on in here?
Leave none alive!
You missed it because he talked over himself what he said there.
Returns.
Was
I
it?
should have known the Mantid would throw their lot in with N'Zoth. They're trying to corrupt the vaults. We can't let that happen.
What he said was, it's been a while since I've had to walk for this long. Which I find funny, because it's not common, but I could name 3 separate pieces of fiction where someone who's gotten used to teleporting everywhere gets weirded out by having to now walk for long periods of time. I mean, these are good quests. I sound complainy because I'm ready to be done with everything. But, like, this is good stuff. That's not the source of the complaint here. Yeah, Nihilotha is not a small raid. I really, really don't want to still be on BFA tomorrow. That would legitimately irritate me. By the way, tomorrow will be a partial stream because I have a meeting tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to, which I have to do. Last thing I want to do is have to stretch BFA to frickin' Friday and spend 2 weeks on BFA of all things. It's at 1:30 my time, so we'll see how that works out. I'll probably do partial first shift and maybe a second shift, depending on how long the meeting goes. Someone earlier was making fun of me because I was mentioning how well BFA was scoring and how that's not a surprise. To be clear, it is and it isn't. As in, it is scoring well and it's not a surprise. But they said that because this is the expansion that broke your love of WoW, and that's certainly true.
Do you feel the frenzy of the swarm? They know what is coming. They know you will be its herald.
Champion, are you still with me?
Huh? What?
I'm starting to worry about you. But right now, we have to focus on the engine. Come on!
What? Sorry. You have to understand, BFA primed the pump, for lack of a better way to put that. Most of BFA's content was good, and I've said that for a long time. Like, I said that even back in the day when I kind of hated it. It was a lot of more core issues, and again, as I've discussed during this review, a lot of those issues were out of the game. The attitude that the developers were taking, plus everything going on with what was happening at the Blizzard offices at the time, pretty much put me in the perfect position to be done with Blizzard and done with WoW. Then Shadowlands came out. And really, enough said. Yeah, we did that like days ago, J. Palmer. It was actually the first raid we did. Or the second. Either way, we did it a while ago.
The Empress will have our heads if the ritual is interrupted.
Sure thing, Gideon Emery.
Stop them at all costs.
I mean, we only score those on a story axis, but it was still interesting to look at. And having N'Zoth yammer at us was certainly nice. You know what? I don't have time to kill you. Get out of my way. Yeah, it's hard to give raids a gameplay score. The first time we'll be able to give any raid a gameplay score fairly will be Wrathion.
You cannot oppose the Deep One.
I mean, I can. Sort of. My shtick.
Too late.
Hello? You don't belong
Look
there.
at the size of that thing! Go for the eye!
I am not... Okay, you know what? I don't even care. Okay.
There we go. You can use that console to connect us to the Chamber of Heart.
Remote link established. Awaiting circuit completion.
Hold your horses, lass. This thing didn't exactly come with instructions.
Only Braun was here.
Ouch! That stung. Wait. It all makes sense now. Connecting the power circuit. What's this? Interesting. I'll remember that for later. There. The link is up.
Acknowledged. Rerouting power to Forge of Origination.
We did it, hero! The Forge is drawing power from the engine of Nalat Shah. And I found something in the archives that could turn the tide against N'Zoth. Come on, let's get back to the High Keeper.
Sorry, I didn't want to stand on that any longer than I had to. I've done this raid before. You just... Okay. You know what? Sure. I don't actually know, Magister. By every account I've been able to read, Linear Oath, BFA was always supposed to be the end of the HVA. Now, who knows? A lot of those sources are interviews, and interviews can be misleading, inaccurate, or outright lies. But yeah, no, I believe it. There's plenty of evidence. Not the least of which the fact that it's been followed through for so long. Yeah, I kept saying that the Battle of Dazar'alor is functionally the end of the HVA, which it is.
This cannot be the black.
But if you actually pay attention, the actual end of the HVA, from the player's perspective, so from what we see on camera, was the rescue of Bane. Not only is it, you know, really, really right up front, like, hey, you know, we're working with the other side on to rescue Bane, and then you fight a boss fight, and then you work with the other team, and you get the cutscene afterward where Thrall and Jaina's like, you know, we've done this too many times. This needs to end, right? And then that was not followed not too long after with Varrock's stuff. But that moment right there was probably the player's end of the HVA. Yeah, exactly, Uthor.
Discovery speaker. If the Mogu have learned how to focus the Forge's energies.
Aye, it means we can use the Forge against N'Zoth without reoriginating the entire world.
Perhaps I should observe this myself.
N'Zoth's plan is to replace Azeroth with the Black Empire, which involves a little bit of dimensional bleeding, and he totally could do that, by the way. So, I just want to comment on something really quick. I was just reminded, because he's sitting in the same position Odin usually is. I love the contrast between Odin and Ra. Odin is big and glossy and brass, and he's got big shiny bolts, and he's dolled up, right? Like, he looks big and fancy. Odin is inferior to Ra. This guy. Just immediate visual contrast here. Let me pull this up for you so you can really see the contrast just one-to-one here. Here we go. Just kind of look at those side by side there, and you just see the difference in personality right there. Look at that. Yeah, where is Odin, by the way? Jackass. Remember, he's free. We broke him out.
I listen.
You've done a great thing for the Rajani today, champion. I hope the engine of Nalaksha provided the power you seek.
Hope is fleeting.
Your persistence fills me with hope for this world. Let us return to your chamber of the heart. I was just there.
The end approaches. Long has it been since I last saw the Forge of Origination. Storm Speaker, I leave the Rajani in defense of the engine. As you command, High Keeper. I will take us to the Chamber of Heart. This may prove disorienting. Such a magnificent facility. It looks to be of Arcadis' make. Odd that I was unaware of its existence.
Knowledge of chamber restricted to Sigma level clearance. Proximity to World Soul requires additional safeguards.
Aye. We only found this place because Azeroth herself showed us the way.
Did you catch that? Let me try that again. Let me break that down a little bit. That's Ra. He's the Prime Designate. He is the highest up on the totem pole among all the Titan forged on Azeroth. He didn't know this place was here, because the Titans kept knowledge of it from him. The only reason we found this is because Azeroth herself guided us here. We've certainly had plenty of hints that the Titans are up to stuff that they don't want anyone else to know about, but this is a really, really good example of that.
Azeroth cries out in pain.
Not only have we managed to restore the Forge of our Nation, but even brought back a Titan Keeper. Believe it or not, that isn't the end of the good news.
Back to work!
Yeah, Arcades had a really big habit of archiving his memories. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Arcades was told to do that constantly. Build this for us, archive your memories. Now build this, archive your memories. Each time, right? It's kind of insidious and horrible when you think about it.
Remember your duty to Azeroth.
Okay, what?
Our world must
What?
be healed. Mother, can you tell us how to focus the Forge's energies against N'Zoth?
Affirmative. Precision execution of origination protocol, possible via remote triangulation. Successful deployment of calibrated targeting anchors requires proximity to source of contamination.
In other words, we need to place these anchors close to N'Zoth himself, which means braving the very...
Anyone setting foot inside that accursed place would be driven to madness.
There is always a way. The rest of you see to the forge. Leave the prop...
I didn't know what you have up your sleeve, lad. But all right. Let's fire it up!
They really do keep talking over poor Wrathion over there.
These stones have tales to tell. Fight for our world!
And to be clear, I don't think Arcades' memory
Sequence initiated. Awaiting user input.
is being dumped because he has limited space. I think it's being dumped because, like, the Titans don't view him as a sentient person and don't want him to be one. Let me put this into very simple terms. Imagine for a moment that I order Huthor to go assassinate someone with very orange skin. And then when Huthor comes back, now that Huthor has accomplished this goal, I immediately wipe his memory. Complete. You know, his goal is complete. His task is complete. No total deniability, no understanding of the mission, no capacity for betraying me, no ability to do anything. It's like a perfect no release button there. Huthor has become nothing more than a tool. Are those still going? Because I stopped doing them because the last time I did it, I didn't get any cutscene. So I assumed they stopped. Also, those quests are really irritating to do.
From engine of Nilak Shah to inactive systems. Accessing breeding database. Hello.
Oh, the old gods are more evil. The Titans are just not on our side.
Restoring Forge of Origination to full functionality.
They never were.
Warning. Unidentified anomaly detected.
Anomaly? What do you mean?
I should mention that I haven't been watching the cutscenes, so I haven't actually seen them. I just kept doing them until no new cutscenes showed up.
Our world needs us, champion. For Azeroth!
If the Ramkyohen haven't reached out to sound the alarms, the anomaly must be contained within the halls.
Fight for our world. This can't be good. I'll meet you back in Uldum.
Could you teleport me, Magni?
Champion, this anomaly. See if you can discern its origin. You stand before the Black Prince.
I am now neutral with the Black Prince. Woo. But yeah, no, that kind of tactic is the sort of thing Sylvanas would do. You are a tool, nothing more. Act like it. I've actually thought about collating all of the evidence over the years of exactly how much the Titans are not on our side. The problem is, it's actually quite a bit. Going at least as far back as Wrath. Well, no, that's an interesting question, J. Palmer. I mean, obviously from an out-of-character perspective, yeah, of course. But from a retconned, where's Sylvanas is at now perspective? That's trickier. Even back in Cata, in which she was villainous, I remind you, her overall goal and motives were that they were the arrows in her quiver. Her phrase, not mine. That sounds a lot like tools to me. Oops, no, whatever. Magni, I'm finally here.
Nothing unusual out here.
More like they were disposable in order to accomplish her ends, Magister. Maybe disposable is the wrong word. The nicest thing I could say about Sylvanas is that she actually did give enough of a damn to see that her tools were well taken care of. But to be clear, they were just tools.
Well met. Our world must be healed. Look out! The ceiling's caving in!
Oh my god, this frickin' place. Let me in! Let me in!
Entrance is blocked! Mother, get our champion out of here!
Error. Unable to locate suitable destination for extraction.
What do you mean?
Well then, bring them to me! Hero, I'll meet you outside!
Locking onto
What?
speaker unit. Teleportation initiated.
If you could have done this the whole time... Oh, I taste like burning!
That was too close for comfort. Let's go, champion.
I mean, honestly, J. Palmer, think about how much of a big change that would be just to Frozen Throne. Never mind everything else.
Look! Across the sand! That must be the anomaly!
Impossible to predict, J. Palmer. Those kind of sea changes, you have to really sit down and line up all the dominoes properly. That would take a long time to do.
Wait! Do you feel that? Something's wrong.
There's a boss fight coming. I can feel it.
Be careful, hero!
Hey, look. Endless suffering. Oh, my sanity. My sanity.
It has already begun.
Extreme vulnerability. Overwhelming confusion.
You must resist N'Zoth's influence. Do not give in to madness.
Wandering thoughts. Utter loneliness. Oh. These are interestingly chosen. Oh man, we are bleeding sanity hard. Yeah, check that out, by the way. There's the sky right now.
Can you bring them back to the chamber?
Initiating evacuation protocol.
So that's your preview of the sanity mechanic from the visions. Great sequence, by the way. Plus to moment.
What's doing? I've never seen anything like it.
It was his vision of the future made manifest. And, well, I did say leave the problem of Nyalotha to me.
He's talking over himself now.
Now is as good a time as any. Speak your mind. Every action has consequences.
If N'Zoth were to gain access to the Forge and leverage its power, the results would be catastrophic. Afraid we're short on time, Doxanonson. If you want to continue these investigations, you'll need protection, and I know just the place.
Never let your guard down.
Protecting one's mind against the old gods requires an object of pure corruption. Unbeknownst to many, one such object exists, dormant beneath the molten pits of the Blackwing Descent. Until recently, one of my agents stood watch over the area, keeping detailed records of suspicious activities. Unfortunately, this agent has gone silent. It is now clear we're not the only ones with this knowledge. If we're to find answers, there's one place to look.
Until next time, I will rendezvous with my operative outside Blackrock Mountain. Meet me there.
I speak for Azeroth.
Well, I don't know. I know this sounds strange, especially in light of Dragonflight, but I kind of wish they did more with the Black Prince. That is to say, the organization. I've always found the idea fascinating that a lot of people would naturally gravitate to him, not because he's particularly charismatic or even a good leader, but because he has a lot of resources, so he pays well, and because he has a legitimate and vested interest in improving things. No Horde versus Alliance, no political bullcrap, no interest in anything other than dealing with the real issues. In many ways, he provides that third faction idea that I've talked about since... Wrath, I want to say? And yeah, very ruthless, too. Which, like it or not, that's going to appeal to people. I'm trying very, very hard not to reference current events. I just want you to know that. Wrathion, oh god, how young is he at this point? 8, I want to say? I forget the new timeline. One of these days I'll memorize the new timeline. Game. There we go.
Appears N'Zoth is one step ahead of us. Grief will have to wait. For now, we press on.
I mean, real talk, if someone nominated the Jailer for worst, best villain, I would assume it's someone trolling, and I get rid of troll nominations immediately. Meme nominations. Now, if that person then insisted and gave reasoning, fine.
N'Zoth's forces have seized Netherion's lair. Make haste, champion. There can be only one reason they are here.
Yep, see, and Huthor's banned, just like that. It was easy.
You will serve the Master, or die!
You know what? Actually, Huthor's got a good point. How many villains' dicks are that big? By the way, this is the worst elevator in the game. Of all the elevators, the only one that comes close to this is Serpentshrine, but at least Serpentshrine waits for longer than, what was that, 2 seconds?
The suffering they inflict upon these dragons.
Ah, the infamous Black Prince. Such an honor to finally meet you. Behold the work of your fallen kin. Fear not. His efforts will not go to waste.
These cultists intend to revive Nefarion's experiments. We must stop them. Eliminate the ones conducting the research. I will bring down the barrier.
See, the funny thing is, Blade Taval, jokingly, is quite correct. The whole point of the "their dick is so big" thing is that it isn't. If you have to constantly emphasize that, then you are telling, not showing, in a way that almost guarantees that people aren't going to believe it. I don't think they singled dragons out, Trihexia. I think they just going with what's here.
Cultists have repurposed the alchemy lab to experiment on those whelps. Put a stop to it.
Actually, as much as I dislike him as a character, it's worth noting that Fyrax's dick, metaphorically speaking, is actually bigger than the jailer's. And if that ain't an insult, I don't know what is. But yeah, actually, to go back to an earlier comparison point, Odin would constantly talk about how big his dick is. Ra wouldn't even mention it. Because he doesn't have to. Ice Crown Syndrome, or Ice Crown Syndrome, no, that's right, Ice Crown Citadel Syndrome, is when, hey, here's this new boss, you've never heard of them before, but they're like an integral part of the overall functioning of the organization they're in, but you've never heard of them before, ever.
It seems that the failed experiments become fodder for that monstrosity. Avenge them, champion.
Exactly, Maverick. Yeah, Putricide is the example of that. Dude is, by all accounts, responsible for the Blight. Like, the undead plague. And its developments. Never heard of him before Citadel.
Meaningless. Nefarion's legacy will soon be ours.
Oh, hey, she's wearing the raid gear.
Return to me, champion. This barrier is proving more resilient than I anticipated.
And yet Lanathel's another good example. Lei Shen worked out pretty well. They foreshadowed him as early as the Jade Forest, if you remember.
I nearly have it. Just another... Behind you!
Braywen. I look forward to seeing it.
There!
At last, the Black Prince graces us with his presence.
The black dragonflight was unworthy of the Master's gifts, but you can still be of use to him. Begin the ritual. The Master has summoned me to Nyalotha. Our lesser creations can slay the prince's companion.
Your father proved incapable of resisting the old gods, little whelp. Such hubris to think you...
No!
Hey, he got to interrupt someone. Holy crap. Don't worry, Wrathion. You're very punchable. But you're still an ally. And actually, I rather like Wrathion. Despite his punchability.
Tiresome obsession with your dragonflight's legacy will be your undoing.
Sorry, I partially talk... God damn it, woman!
Raise Nefarian and Onyxia to serve N'Zoth. In the Master's name, their wings will darken the skies once more.
You done?
I will see you burn for this.
Is that a no? Ahem. You missed that because I was accidentally talking over. She said, "This tiresome obsession with your dragonflight's legacy will be your undoing." She said that to Wrathion. In BFA. No, Wrathion had zero presence in Legion. Unlike Warlords where he had a blink and you'll miss it moment.
Enough! You cannot break me like you broke my father!
The Black Dragonflight will purge your master from Azeroth!
Impudent dragon! All of your kind will bow before N'Zoth!
With me, champion. Let us bring this to an end.
Yep, that's our first time seeing Wrathion's dragon form. Before now, he's just been a whelp.
I underestimated the sway the old gods still hold over the Black Dragonflight. There was little I could do to resist. I will not allow my Dragonflight to be corrupted again. Nefarian's and Onyxia's remains must be destroyed.
Hey, Shades of Slay. Love the name.
Cover their scales once it is done. Those, at least, will aid us in protecting Azeroth.
So yeah, if some people were ever wondering if they're ever going to bring Onyxia and Nefarian back, no, they're gone. They're as gone as they're getting.
I entrust the scales to you, champion. Return to the Chamber of Heart, so that we might wield them against N'Zoth.
Like I said, they're as gone as they're getting. They're not as gone as they could be. Ironically, there's one more step of gone past this. Yeah, we'll talk about that furthest step of gone in Shadowlands. It's probably one of the only ideas I kind of like in Shadowlands, is the idea of that kind of permanent cessation. I suppose I should mention, in the interest of honesty, that it's actually pretty easy to permanently die. Like, an elemental kill at its plane is gone. Just to use one example of that. Look, I'm going to be real. I sincerely doubt they were cohesive with who goes to what afterlife in Shadowlands. Although I'm curious which dragon you're referencing, Linnerith, because I can only think of one.
Do you trust me? Azeroth faces many threats.
So, there is the cloak.
Don't do it. This is more than a mere cloak, champion. It is all that remains of my... Corrupted by N'Zoth in life, they will shield you from his influence in death. Now, let us brave his vision once more.
It doesn't look like much. Okay, so yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Who, I would say, doesn't count as a dragon.
The Black Talon are always watching.
The recent change of events allows us to continue our journey to discover what darkness lies beyond the sands. It will not be easy. We stand on the precipice of the unknown, but now the tables have turned. He looks at your new attire. You do dress the part. Let's see what insights your return to the Halls of Origination brings to light.
Learn from the past. Look to the future.
Contamination levels nominal.
You remember the line about her being a favored pet of Elune? Remember, she didn't just die. She was dragged off by Elune in Legion, right?
Farewell protocol.
That doesn't scream normal death to dragon thing to me. So now I can go kill N'Zoth, because I've got the cloak. Oh, right. They got rid of that requirement. Which is good. To be very clear. Oh, wow. Actually requires me to have it on. Well, it's okay. That's why I kept it.
The cloak will protect you from the brunt of N'Zoth's power, but it cannot hold him at bay indefinitely. Do not.
So, our first real insight into visions. The last thing was just a preview. Sanity is ticking down much slower. Nice decor there. And as usual, the color scheme. Deep blue and burning red. We have the madness of Bloodthirsty.
The deeper you delve into N'Zoth's vision, the stronger his influence becomes. Even with the cloak, your sanity will erode more quickly, and your senses will begin to betray you.
So this is what Bloodthirsty does. Strikes everyone nearby for amount of
Beware
damage.
the creature ahead of you. Its attacks afflict not only your physical form, but your mind as well. This vision must center around the forge. Perhaps repairing it will end the nightmare. Head for the control chamber.
Actually, a good question. Has anyone ever done these on a Shadow Priest? And if so, is it any different?
Champion, look at the console. N'Zoth never meant to destroy the forge. He seeks to...
Yeah, that's kind of his shtick, Wrathion.
Forge belongs to them.
Mother, see if you can bring our champion back to the chamber. We have much to discuss.
Mother? Mother? Oh, there you are.
Teleportation device activated.
She sounds like the adjutant, doesn't she? In a good way.
Mother, you reconfigured the engine of Nalak Shah to power the Forge of Origination.
Affirmative.
Incredible. The level of expertise that would require. You are most impressive.
Initiating commendation reception protocol. Thank you.
I would appreciate the opportunity to converse with you further on the matter.
Scheduling conversation for next available cycle. Please stand by.
Oh, yes, of course.
Ra, please stop flirting with Mother.
It seems our fates are intertwined.
Removing the corruption from the Halls of Origination has shifted his attention elsewhere. The attacks in Oldham and the Vale of Eternal Blossoms continue to grow.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
As unfortunate, 66, as the spreading corruption may seem, I believe it provides us the opportunity to prepare for what happens. So now I want to do a vision. This is not the horrifying vision, the other visions.
Look to the future.
Our world needs us, champion.
Another grievous wound. The wounds, champion. Sorry.
Do you require experimentation?
No. Ra does, though. Hey, Nabundo. The light. Don't get go the light. You're a shaman, dude. Oh, yeah.
I speak for Azeroth.
The shaman of the Earthen Ring are powerful, but this is even more than they can handle. And from the sound of it, some of them are still trapped. Like you did in Nordrasil. Use the heart of Azeroth to seal the wounds.
For Azeroth!
We can hold him for now. Or I can just kill him. Like, he's right there, dude. I got this. Ra could use some happiness, legit. He has been through some things. Exactly what I want out of my life, Luthor. To not beat BFA today. God damn it. I mean, we're doing stuff that, if I'm remembering correctly, crosses like 2 or 3 patches. This is a long chain. I'm going to predict this right now, by the way. The chain that leads to Zereth Mortis, I'm going to be sick of by the time we're at the halfway point. I know this because I didn't do that chain very long ago. I did it in mid-dragonflight. And I was sick of it about halfway through it. It's the final zone in Shadowlands, J. Palmer. It is very filler, yes.
The heart of Azeroth has absorbed a massive amount of power from the Maelstrom. It's stronger than ever before.
No, it's still level 66. Level 66.
These stones have tales to tell.
That was close. If you hadn't stopped the spread of these wounds in time, I don't know what might have happened.
Remember your duty to
But I
Azeroth.
did it! Ah, you stopped the damage before it could get any worse. The Maelstrom will always be a place of history and the pain for Azeroth, but any little bit we can do to make things better. Who knows, maybe we can even seal Silithus one day. Yeah.
Fight for our world!
We must hurry. Though the pain of the earth lessens, I fear there's little time left to save what remains on Azeroth. I know. We're doing all we can. We've enlisted some powerful help. That's good to hear. We're much stronger when we stand together. Yeah, I hear the war ended too. Oh, that's also good to hear. Are we down here? Yeah, we're down here. Yeah, what sword? I have no idea how long War Within will be. Dragonflight should be pretty chunky. At least, I'd say a week and a half. But then again, BFA is currently at week and a half. So... you know, that sucks.
Contamination levels nominal. Error. Exit routine.
Well, there's 67. Oh yeah, that would have been fun, J. Palmer. Yeah, we're just going to displace a mountain's amount of water. Okay, what's the current one? Looks like it is still Vale. Remember, we're not doing the raid on this character, though.
This cannot be. The Black Empire itself has invaded the Vale. Act swiftly, before all is lost.
But I was told to slow down. So that daily requirement might screw me over on this chain. We'll see.
N'Zoth would see this nightmare become reality. Explore the area, but do so with caution, champion. I await your return.
Okay, we're just gonna not think about that too much. Yeah, it's probably hard to even tell what you're looking at. So to be very clear, that is a tentacle right above us. that is reaching out of the ground and is still going, and has been going this entire time. What? Trying to show off your great visuals. God, game, work with me on this. Yeah, no. I've often said that the Void probably unintentionally inspired free will. The Void absolutely is not the good. Alright, so, promised power periodically summons a zone of power. Standing on it gives you N'Zoth's gift, increasing damage by 25%. Failing to stand there reduces damage by 10%. In other words, it's a non-stop 10% debuff unless you're standing in the zone, in which case it's a 25% buff. Yep. Accept his gift, or else. Very appropriate. That's why we have the debuff denied power right now. Don't you like gifts, everyone? I don't actually think we can go inside the building. I'm not sure we can do anything, actually. So let's go ahead and get out of here.
This cannot be. The Black Empire itself has invaded the Vale.
Joe. Thanks.
Keep your wits about you.
I'll take those 3,000. What you fix, though? Yep, that is Chiji. Grain of hope, appropriately. The Loa of hope, to be more clear. I don't know, actually. I mean, there's the 5 mask run, but I don't know if that's really what you're talking about.
We meet again, champion.
I believe it's time we put this knowledge to good use.
Azeroth faces many threats.
The fabric of reality is torn, but there's no need for me to tell you that. You've seen it firsthand. It's only a matter of time before these realities become one, veiled in eternal darkness. Instead of hiding, perhaps it's time we embraced the darkness. With the help of our Titan friend, we were able to thread the needle of this reality through the fabric of another, creating a bridge. After all, the key to understanding an enemy's weakness is to understand their intentions.
Every action has consequences.
Alright, Mother.
Accessing breeding database. Hello.
I have a new objective for you. Go date Ra. Like now. Like right now. There's no time.
Departure acknowledged.
The Forge of Origination was built to remake Azeroth, according to the Titan's design. If N'Zoth corrupts it, he could use the Reorigination Protocol to transform Azeroth. We must bolster your cloak's resistance to N'Zoth before you enter Nyalotha, and we will turn his own scheme against him in the process.
Gateway construction complete.
That looks like a safe gate. No issues with that. Terrifying, but you know.
Is there something you wish to discuss? The Black Talon are always watching.
So, yep, it looks like it wants us to do
entering
a
N'Zoth's
vision.
vision on our own terms. We can push the limits of your cloak in a relatively safe environment. We need only introduce a nominal amount of corruption into the chamber to link our reality to Nyalotha.
A nominal amount? Lad, have you lost your mind? We'll be doing N'Zoth's work for him.
I admit that this is a risk, but it is one that we must take. Mother can cleanse the corruption once our champion returns.
Okay. All right.
I have been expecting...
I would like 1 vision, please.
Never let your guard down.
Okay. Horrific visions. It is Orgrimmar this week, day? I forget how often it rotates. I don't know Orgrimmar like at all.
Driven mad by N'Zoth's whispers, Thrall believes that the elements warn him of a disaster that only the old god can prevent. Now all of Orgrimmar drinks the blood of N'Zoth, twisting the Horde into a frenzied war machine.
And yeah, I noticed that I've got all of the skulls here, although I'm not going to activate those. Not in this character.
Is there something you wish to discuss?
So, let's talk about horrific visions, because that's this mechanic. So as you can see, you get this little prep area. The timer hasn't started. The sanity hasn't started ticking down. In fact, I've got a DBM notification that. I just noticed that. It shows where we're at in terms of progress in the upper right, and we get an early preview of the map. So there's our first spot. We start here. We drain 6 sanity perspective per second here. Excuse me. The madness effect for here is desynchronized. Your spells and abilities disrupt your perception of time, occasionally making you much faster or slower than normal. But then you get to choose where to go next. The Drag, the Valley of Honor, Valley of Wisdom, or the Valley of Spirits. So Valley of Spirits is 8 sanity per second, so is the Drag. Valley of Wisdom is 12 sanity per second, so is the Valley of Honor. Let's talk about the other sanity effects. Scorched Feet. While moving, you sometimes leap over imaginary fiery hazards. Much more frustrating than that sounds to deal with. And Haunting Shadows. You sometimes create a manifestation of your fear, which can force yourself and nearby allies, remember this is group content if you bring a friend, to run in fear. Those actually aren't terrible. Scorched Feet is bad for a mage, but Haunting Shadows, that's livable.
Until next time.
So,
we meet again, champion.
Let's do it.
Azeroth faces many threats.
Let's see how this plays at level 67. So, clock is ticking. And so is the sanity. The new visuals for this place are amazing, by the way. I don't want to pause too long, but just take that in for a second. Also, the giant eyeball over Dranash Hold, or whatever it is. Tentacles writhing in the distance. Like, oh, I actually kind of like Stormwind's a bit better, but man. So you'll notice how quickly my sanity is going down. Your first trip in, you have hardly any sanity resistance at all. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough ride to get in there. Again, as I mentioned, me and Pax literally died to the second or third trash ball when we did this for the very, very first time. Okay. We're already down 200. We're down to a quarter. Less than a quarter. Sorry, we are down by over a quarter of our sanity. Just to give you an idea of how fast that's going down. When it gets 0, you're kicked out. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Even if you're in the middle of a boss fight. Doesn't matter. You're out. then you're done for that run. Your run's over. You fail. Well, the door's not open, Linurith, and I'm not sure why. Oh, me and Pax made a good duo team for these. They were pretty mean in duo, but, you know, that's normal. And yes, sanity is a party mechanic. Not an individual one. I love the sigils on the wall. Nice stuff there. Nice stuff. Very appropriate, I would say. Well, I sure couldn't, so, we're starting to get pretty far down on the sanity. Where are the optionals? I don't see any optionals. I don't see anything else to kill, period, except for, like, this trash over here. Oh, never mind. Way's open. Way's open.
The elements have spoken. Azeroth is doomed.
So we've got seconds here.
Or you will die. The blood of the old god, thank you. 4, 3.
Vision exploration concluded. Initiating exit protocol.
A blow well struck. But this was only the beginning of N'Zoth's vision. Additional horrors lurk throughout the city. Find them and vanquish them.
Yep, there's the bosses. Corona, Rexar, not actually sure who that is. Rakan? And Geira, for some reason. It is Zakan, okay. And of course, we managed to take down Thrall. So, that gets us some loot. Okay, that's boring. Gets us this, which is nice. Put that down with the pile. Azurite gear, and it gives us corrupted mementos. Remember that. And echoes of Nyalotha. It's not the side. It rotates weekly. So if I was to do this on the Alliance, I would still get Orgrimmar right now. That being said, Orgrimmar and Stormwind are definitely different versions. Like, completely different dungeons. Now, it looks like she's not even a vendor yet.
You stand before the Black Prince.
More corrupted mementos.
Never let
The door opens. The path made clear.
That voice! Where's it coming from?
That's me. Sorry, my bad. Put that there for the absence of anything else.
Well met!
Did you hear that as well? Oh, that kind of be good. If N'Zoth gains access to the chamber, we're all doomed.
Our world must be healed.
No, you're supposed to lose the first vision. Like, there's no way.
The sleeping city awakens.
There's a reason they give you a free key for the first dungeon.
Black Empire reborn.
We're under attack! Protect the chamber!
Well, okay. Yes and no. I'll show off some of the things, but the biggest thing is...
What anchor him here? We need to destroy them.
Yeah, you get rewarded regardless. You just get more stuff if you win. I think. I could be wrong about that, actually, because like I said, I have nothing in my memory for what you get for succeeding other than fun. Like, I don't know if you even get anything for doing a 5 mask run.
Vision made real.
There's no end to them!
The final truth given form. Behold, Nyalotha. way. Save our world, champion. No matter the cost.
I always do. See you around, Raw.
He's gone.
If Wrathion has been pulled into Nyalotha, N'Zoth's vision made real, then I do not envy his fate. Speak your mind. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Every action has consequences.
So here's the quest chain to upgrade the cloak, which I am not doing, obviously. But that's what that is.
Do you require experimentation?
This
Compiling recorded Titan research.
gives access to these.
Data archive now accessible.
So you can buy vessels with the Echoes of Nyalotha, and of course, rank 3 versions of several of these things, including the Resonating.
Error. Exit.
You're on crack, Von Falkenstein. Upgrading the cloak involves doing the visions over and over and over and over. And remember, it costs 10,000 currency to do each vision. Like, at an absolute bare minimum, I'm pretty sure this very first step requires, looks like 1. And then there's a 2, and then there's a 4, and so forth. This is the treadmill. It's fun, it's interesting, it's engaging. It has nothing to do with the run. But this is the other thing I want to show off. So this is the currency you get. I just pointed this out, the Corrupted Mementos. So, on Horrific Visions, enable Sanity Restoration Orb use. The orb revives all nearby allies and restores their sanity. Up to 3 can be summoned in a single vision. Any orbs summoned by any player count against the party limit. This is your rogue progression I mentioned earlier. Then we can increase all party members' sanity, or reduce damage taken and increase damage done by amount. Each ally within range reduces this amount by 1%. This orb is invaluable. The rest of these are bonus points. At the very bottom, we get Gift to the Titans. On Horrific Visions, defeating enemies has a chance to grant Gift to the Titans, increasing haste and movement speed by 60% and reducing sanity loss from all sources by 100%, aka freezes sanity loss for 20 seconds. You get it.
Contamination levels. Departure acknowledged.
I have been expecting you.
So there's the mount. Not in a huge hurry to get that. I do kind of want the Black Dragon Scale backpack. It looks like this. It really is very Wrathion backpack. Look at that. I don't know what we have the technology achievement is, though.
Learn from
take
the
a look
past.
very quickly.
Look to the future.
There it is. How do I not have that? I also don't have do all the visions. I'm missing a lot of stuff here. Okay, I'm not missing that much.
Azeroth cries out in pain.
Do you require experimentation?
There we go. Also notice the quest turn-in gives you 10,000 coalescing, aka 1 more key. So it really is a free key your first time through. It is a straight tutorial.
Remember your duty to Azeroth. For Azeroth!
I can't believe that Ra sacrificed himself to save us. We can't give up on him. There must be a way to find out what he meant. See if my mother can track him down.
Back to work!
Contamination levels nominal.
We need to save him! Mother, can you find us another way inside?
Acknowledged. Scanning planetary surface for related anomalies. Matching energy signature detected. Location, Veil of Eternal Blossoms.
Of course. The Titan Forges.
Hold on, Wrathion. We're coming for you. Well met.
All right.
Fight for our world.
Oh, we're here. Do the raid.
For Azeroth.
Okay, then. This is it. This is the actual finale. That's a good thing I'm incapable of time walking, Bragwin. Just out of curiosity, where was I in this stupid thing? Oh, I see why I didn't have everything. Because I was beelining for the bottom. I'm sorry, that final buff is very useful for doing the visions. What is my cloak, speaking of which? Rank 12. Actually lower than I thought. But yeah, you may or may not notice, I actually have the quest right there. So let's read that out loud. Using the Mogul's research, Mother and Wrathion found a way to focus the Forge's origination protocol through the Chamber of Heart. The only problem was find out where to shoot it. That is until now. Take these anchors and head through that portal. You'll need to find some prominent landmarks to place them. You only get one shot, so make it count. I probably technically should do this on Zolosh, because Zolosh is my main and better geared and all that. But I really want to finish this on my frickin' warrior. No, I don't want it to take longer. I don't want it to take longer. I'll get back to it later. We're finishing this today, damn it. Remember, I still have to do the audit. Okay. So. It's funny you asked that, Looney Ruth. Hey, look. Oh, wait, that's not it. There it is. Hey, look. I've got this quest. It's so strange. I have this on both of my main characters. Ah. So, Bragan wanted to come. Someone else said they were coming. Maverick. Yeah, so I have done all of this raid except for the last boss. Now, I should mention, I've done the last boss several times. I've just never beaten it. It's just the 3, Linnerith. Okay, I'll accept that invite in just a second, because I don't see the cloak on me. I know we don't need it, but I'd really rather be paranoid on it and get it anyway, so... let's just go grab that.
Tell me of your travels.
Where is it? There it is. Rank 1. That's
family.
Huh. Okay. No, it's okay. I can work with that. Hang on. Yep. Gotta go talk to a dragon about a horse. Can I get a second summons, please? Where is she? There she is.
Need help? Light bless you.
There we go. Hey, what's up?
Itself has invaded the Vale. Act swiftly before all is lost.
All right. I've been looking forward to showing off this place for a long time. So, First thing we see, very, very first thing we see, is Azeroth. And that is the same Azeroth from Legion, and it is completely consumed in void. Wonderful skybox, by the way. Also, I'm just going to briefly mention the architecture. If it looks a little bit off, there's a reason for it. We'll get to it. Just bear with me. But that's the... Notice the camera framing. I talk about this so much. By the way, I love the outfit, Brayman. I talk about this so much. They know what they're doing. They know what you're going to be looking at first. Game designers can't control where the player shoves their camera. But what they can do is design things to incline the player to look a certain way. So they are pretty sure we're going to be looking right there, first thing. That is an awesome thing to start a raid to, right there. Still rotating, too. And then we see Wrathion. What's Wrathion doing here? Exactly?
Come, my chosen. Witness the fate of this world.
Also, it just...
Behold the one who shall herald his coming.
My dear friends, a wondrous honor has been bestowed upon you. The chance to embrace your destiny, as I have. N'Zoth has shown me the inevitable truth that to save Azeroth, we must accept his gift.
This fight's mean, by the way.
It is the only way.
Like, this is... Oh. Real quick. Is anyone else... Does that ground look off to anyone else? Nah, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, so. 3, 2, 1, go.
I am the Cataclysm!
Don't hold anything back in here once we actually start a fight. These things can absolutely still kill us. Especially an upcoming boss, which I wiped on many times in Dragonflight.
Azeroth is doomed. You tread within a vision of what was and what will be.
Oh.
My empire is this world's inevitable destiny.
Signal interference negated. Connection restored.
You're back. What happened?
I learned that it doesn't take much for my friends to believe I betrayed them. Champions, that vision was as much for me as it was for you. N'Zoth wants us to believe that my corruption is inevitable. Doubt me if you must, but know that I will not rest until his smoldering corpse lies at my feet.
Perhaps amusingly, Wrathion is one of the least susceptible people to N'Zoth. Partially because of his history, but also because there is one thing that Wrathion has in spades, and that is faith. It's fascinating. So, okay, this is probably a good enough spot right here to really take in this room. When I was designing some of the when I was asking Evo to design some of the visuals for our Diablo, I actually went into this raid, went into this room, fought the first boss, and then showed this off to her. The design of this room is actually kind of crazy good. Like, I struggle. I want to look everywhere at once because there's so much going on in so many different directions all at the same time. The color distinction, the usage, the gloom of it. It looks gloomy. You can still see perfectly well. Everything is perfectly well lit. But it looks like you're in this place where you can barely see 5 feet in front of your face just because of how it uses the layers and color distinction. And that's before we get into the eyeballs that are just sticking out of the pillars. But why are eyeballs sticking out of pillars? Huh. There's a small detail about this raid that I know several people never noticed, and I cannot wait to properly show it off, so forgive me for building it up. Also, this is Encourage right here, straight up. Like, it's...
As my empire consumes your reality, soon all will be one.
So there's the Prophet. God, this place is huge, too. It really conveys the scale and scope of the place. And I love that black and red. Well, it is blue. It is like a really, really dark blue and red color combo. It's so dark blue that in the shadows it actually looks like it's black. But, I mean, it's blue. You can stare at it. It's right there.
Your minds smell so delicious. Reality and illusion meld into one.
Okay.
Your eye. How did you know?
I just started looking, too. Loot's bugged. That's fine. I'll explain, Czar. Don't worry. Don't worry. I will. I just want to draw people's attention to it for now. So now we go straight across. This is my only complaint about this raid. It looks huge, and it actually is huge. Can we have, like, a run buff or something? No? How about, like, I don't know, a train? Teleport pads? Something. So here's my advice of the day. Don't fall. Yeah, it goes down a ways. In fact, we actually can't even see the bottom. We can see there's tentacles coming up from down there. We cannot see how far down that structure goes. Scale is something this raid does very well. Visually, story-wise, which is appropriate because that's the only thing I can give it a positive for.
Resistance is your nature. Calm. Accept the inevitable.
If there is any indicator that N'Zoth is currently afraid and losing, it is how hard he is constantly trying to convince us to join him. To mangle a quote, the god of corruption is afraid of us. Take that for what it's worth. Also just gonna get another wonderful visual vista here. Look at that. I hope not, Jay Palmer. But we'll see. Probably pretty soon, honestly. home, again, on Courage. Gotta keep the motif going.
More mana.
I remember wiping on this guy a few times.
Devour mana. Not enough mana.
Ha! Ha! Both of you got the pet. Congrats. Before you ask, I already have it. I'm just amused. We got 2 to drop there. As I've hinted at a few times, I've done a decent chunk of this raid legit. I was pretty active in 8.3. So I was circling through this in LFR and a little bit in normal. I only dipped my feet into normal because by this point I effectively didn't have a guild anymore. So normal was just old-fashioned pugging, and I hate old-fashioned pugging. But still, there were some very cool fights in here. And then one weird fight. Talk about that when we get there. Hey, it's another Cathrax. Just handing these out like candy, I swear. Yeah, time is the eternal competitor for raiding. I get it. There's no real getting around it, but I do not have time to do static raiding anymore. No, Bragman! So you see that weird texturing in the wall? Trash in here was mean, too. Like, all of it. I loved it. So once again, they control the camera angle, as you can see. So the first thing they pretty much guarantee the players see when they come out
Multiple anchor points detected.
is that.
Protocol requires localized sanitation prior to anchor deployment.
Aye, you'll have to clear out any beasties so that the anchor can be placed.
So there's actually, this is actually, Magne, shut up! This is actually, this is so clever the way they do this. There's actually multiple layers of backdrop and skybox going on to create this effect. If I scooch forward a little bit, and you look up, you can kind of see how there's like the static actual backdrop, and then there's a moving, rotating one, and then there's another one that's actually a little bit closer in front of it. It's basically your old standard parallax scrolling effect, but they use it to really good effect to get across the scale of what we're looking at here, because this is our best insight into what the Black Empire really looked like. Because the old gods, when they were fully grown, when nothing was impeding their growth, were mountain-sized. But I kept promising you something about the building we were leaving. So let's clear this out so I can get a better view. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, pardon 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 me, excuse me. So there's the building we were just in. What's that coming out of it? Right over there. Do you see that? What is that? It's seeping down into whatever that is down there. There's another eyeball in the wall. Here's the brilliant part of this, and I mean this. This isn't stone. We are walking on flesh. The texture periodically makes it clear. This is one of the most obvious spots right here, where you can see the stretch marks of where the stone has been stretched out. The idea here is actually very, very simple. It's a gigantic chunk of flesh that has been very carefully and precisely carved into the shape of a temple. Now, really think about what I just said. Or don't, if you prefer not to. Based on what we know about the Black Empire, I'd say what they used to make it is time, a bunch of people, and a bunch of knives. You'll also notice the further we get away from the central temple, the more the skin gets stretched out and you know, distended. It looks more like flesh. Over here, this is just made of rock. I didn't really show it off earlier, but several of the textures in there are also very obviously skin. They have skin texture on them. It's really horrifying. I love it. It is a temple made of the flesh of the old gods. Or at least, we hope that's the flesh of the old gods. I should mention that's a presumption. Lord knows they have plenty to go around. We've actually seen this aesthetic recently. Doom, of all things, used this in Hell, if you'll remember. The idea that the stone is chunks... Is the flesh slowly being petrified into stone, so stone bleeds. I know that's such a minor, stupid little bit of visual storytelling, but I've been waiting to share that detail for literally over a year at this point.
Detected within temple interior. Recommendation: proceed with caution.
No, and I don't intend to.
Caution! We don't do caution. Storm that temple and send those cultists screaming to the abyss.
So there's Ashara. Hi, Ashara.
Insolence only prolongs your agony. You will break, or I will carve out your defiant tongue.
More likely, Zanesh. Azeroth's champions will be the ones to silence you. Release me! Only I possess the means of defeating N'Zoth.
Yeah, no kidding.
Your cry shall echo for eternity! Outcry the screams from your flesh!
Yep, I remember this one. No, the boss after this one is the one we had a bunch of issues with.
Rise!
Come on, come on, come on. Torment in a jar. So how you doing, Ashara?
We fulfilled our end of the bargain, Ashara. Now honor yours.
Mind your tone, whelpling. A queen keeps her promises. Listen closely, as I will only say this once. For all his bluster, N'Zoth was ever the weakest of his kin. One vestige of their power yet remains that can be turned against him. I would have driven this blade into his foul heart myself, had you not disrupted my plans. No matter. Xal'atath is yours, mortals. Strike true. Should your first blow fail, you will not survive to attempt another. Now go and do what you will. I tire of intermediaries and heralds. The true throne of power beckons, and I intend to claim it
We have...
Zara has a fondness for games. I will examine this dagger for signs of treachery. But for now, let us continue.
And we have not seen her since. Although... there's an asterisk to that, which we'll cover when we get there. Just remember that somewhere in the back of your mind. That's a good question, Lineruth. Most likely what she got was getting out of her pact with N'Zoth. Once out of the pact, she then immediately kills him. Which makes perfect sense to me. Now, she's still a villain. Like, she's like, oh, I was totally going to kill him. And it's like, yeah, for your own sake. Come on, Ashara. Don't try to play like you're the hero here. Yeah, there is a non-zero chance we'll see Ashara again in midnight. So.
Gather, servants of the void. It is time to receive my gift.
I don't even remember why, but we had a really hard time with this fight.
Shall be remade through its power.
New anchor point detected. Recommendation: terminate void disruption.
If Vexiona and her dragonflight wish to be cast into darkness, then let us help them on their way.
Wrathion! I look forward to reuniting you with your father.
There's 2 fights in here, not counting the obvious N'Zoth fight that we had a lot of issues with back in the day. This is one of them. Now, for those of you who know this raid, do me a favor and try to guess the other one. Don't say it out loud. Just guess.
How dare you defile this temple!
Lady?
I will tear your soul to witness the full power of the void! This is not my destiny!
Void corruption eradicated. Initiating anchor materialization.
Good riddance. Vexiona would see all dragons kneel before N'Zoth.
Well done, champions! Each anchor brings us closer to unleashing the power of the Forge against N'Zoth.
How's that for a shot, by the way? Just take that in for a second. There's the mountain of lava in the distance, the flesh temple on the left, the actual giant pestilent cancer growth on the right, and this giant sea of blood. And occasionally there's these eyeball squids just flying around in the distance. Just the atmosphere in here. It's not quite the same level of atmosphere as the palace, which was the deep depths of the gloom, but I love the visuals of this place. Yeah, this is our best in-game insight into what Azeroth looked like before the Titans showed up. There's a reason they built that many facilities and that many people in order to reclaim this planet. You know what, I lied. I just realized there was another boss we had issues with, too.
Potential anchor point detected in immediate vicinity.
Good. The sooner you place these anchors, the sooner we bring down N'Zoth.
Yeah, it's this guy, right here.
I will devour you. I shall peel the flesh from your bones.
A few people had issues with the back and forth. Not nearly as much as the others, just, you know, it was something.
The hive is under my command. N'Zoth will have your flesh.
Try to ignore that. Okay, so gross warning, okay? Real quick. Gross warning, gross warning, gross warning, gross warning. So you remember how the Akir, which is the original bug race, kind of came out of the flesh of the old gods? Well, this is what that means. That's not like mucus or bug resin or wood or stone. That's flesh with bug hives coming out of it. Yeah, flesh hives. Actually, yeah, Mr. Red, that is exactly what I'm saying. Is any of this real? Based on my own understanding of it, this is as real as the dream.
Error. Corruption at critical levels. Anchor placement terminated.
Wrathion? It can't be. You're a servant of the Titans, of Azeroth herself.
N'Zoth opened my eyes to his great truth. He freed me from the narrow confines of the Titan's path. Come, I will reveal the Master's glory and liberate you from darkness.
So, this was the fight we had a hell of a time with. We actually ran into a wall on this more than once. And I have had raids just stall out and stop here and never get past this.
You only delay the inevitable.
The reason why, and we'll probably show it off without intending to, is he's got Vitae, Shadow, and Anima.
Perhaps a glimmer can repel the dark.
Yeah, don't manage his mechanics and he will destroy you.
Deploying anchor.
Wrathion was a keeper of Azeroth, a great hero, but he lost hope. N'Zoth twisted his despair, and that corruption festered within him. Take a lesson from this, champions. Do not let N'Zoth wield your fears against you.
So, down then.
Alert. New anchor location detected within aperture.
Well, aperture is certainly the polite way to put it.
Yeah, it's not the phrasing I'd use. I'm gonna be real. Like I said, I really wish that he and Mother had gotten on that date immediately before, you know.
All you witness is my flesh.
Still gross. But yeah, so in actual canon, the idea here is actually pretty simple. The old gods are bullets of chaotic void energy made manifest in flesh. As a direct consequence,
you enter as parasites, but will feed my perfection.
And so as a consequence, all of the old god stuff comes from them. Buildings and people, all of that just kind of comes out of their bodies. Because they're chaos. Like, I don't know how to better explain it. It makes so much sense in my head that all of this is just chaos given different forms. Which is why most of the actual interior here doesn't really conform to what you'd call a standard reality. There is still that weird humanoid-y thing, though. Never adequately explained.
and tear my flesh. But wounds are trivial. I am beyond your abilities.
Dude, we have killed several old gods. You know, the ones that are bigger and stronger than you. Yeah, I know. We killed them while they were still sealed or weakened. Still. So how many of you remember the Emerald Nightmare raid from back in Legion? No reason. Just ask.
I am the darkness within.
Oh, this fight was a fun fight.
Forward and accept my embrace.
I know, it's hard to believe that when we kill things in 5 seconds.
My flesh, but I am eternal.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the bug wall. Sorry. I actually kind of tend to forget that tentacle fight's even there.
Reduction of contamination required for anchor deployment.
You will never be rid of me.
This is Ilgnyoth. You remember him, right? Well, more of his flesh has been built up around him now.
The feeding begins.
Notice he's just straight up talking with N'Zoth's voice, by the way.
Falls upon you. Flesh peels away to expose rot. You dare scar perfection. His gaze for flesh peels away to expose rot.
Ah!
You dare scar perfection.
Went a little bit too far there. You got this, Maverick.
N'Zoth sees all. Flesh peels away to expose rot. You dare scar perfection.
There we go.
Pass beyond.
All anchors deployed. Calibrating beam projection. Warning. Proximity to target required for ensured accuracy. Insufficient power for subsequent activations.
What Mother means is, we only get one shot at this. The closer you get to N'Zoth, the better our odds of hitting him.
Understood, Magni. N'Zoth will answer for what he has done to Azeroth, and to my father.
Someone earlier asked what the old gods are even after. Like, what they want. The answer is actually pretty simple. They want the same thing most things want in this setting. They want everything to be more like them. The Black Empire is actually kind of a misnomer, because at the end of the day, the Black Empire, really, was just the old gods all constantly fighting each other. Everything else was literally just an extension of them and their will, and their literal flesh. That's what they want for everywhere, for everything, for everyone. If that sounds familiar, that's pretty much exactly what the light wants, too. That's gross. It's still true. So. Those of you who've done dragonflight, this area might look familiar. Yeah, N'Zoth is large enough to actually be a skybox. At least in his own head. Wrathion, there he is. If you haven't seen it, don't worry about it.
Weapons against N'Zoth. We need to get inside his... Leave this part to me. After all, dramatic entrances are my specialty.
What is that?
Insolent whelpling! You desecrate that which you were bred to serve!
Angry, are we? And after I tried so hard to impress you with my dagger handiwork.
Yeah, I think we've finally managed to actually get him angry.
Corruption levels exceeding measurable parameters. Recalculating.
Here's what the flesh looks like when it hasn't been properly carved, by the way.
Particularly encouraging, Mother.
You will break like your father before you.
N'Zoth's rage seems fixated upon me, champions. Perhaps you can turn that to our advantage.
What? I don't exist. I'm not even here. What are you talking about? By the way, if anyone gets the mount, grats. What's going to happen is Bregwin's going to get it. Because, of course she is. So there's the cloak. And there's a sanity mechanic.
Your defiance will be thwarted. My strength is unending.
Same growth concept that Ga'Hoon had, by the way.
Champions, N'Zoth is luring us into the core of his... I dare not enter that foul place, lest I lose myself to his madness. Strike him down.
Your weapons fail you.
Apparently. Alright.
Approaches. Sanity.
Really is the Ga'Hoon fight. Start reducing those stacks of synthesis.
Your weapons fail you. Let madness consume you. Impervious, unyielding.
Oh, I love the concept of this fight. Like, that thing down there is technically the final boss, but really we're ripping apart his husk as we go here.
Final truth awaits you, my children. listen. Boils burst, my fury spreads. Void approaches. Impervious, unyielding. Your weapons fail you. Rage is fleeting. But the mind is eternal.
So.
Every war waged, every trial overcome, led you here to me. My vision shall be made real. Complete the circle. Open the way.
So I have never beaten this boss.
For an old god who claims to see everything, you are blind to the threat before you.
Okay. Wow, 20-minute cooldown? Jesus. Alright, whatever.
Your minds remain closed. Come, mortals. Glimpse the infinite.
I used to actually know this fight, too. Yeah, we're gonna lose Bregman, guaranteed. Sorry, Bregman. There's just too much crap going around for that to not happen. Just latent AoE damage. You see all that blood popping up? Pretty sure that happens every time we kill something.
Of truths.
So there's our void, which Maverick is running for right now. There's another top-bottom fight. I'm going to stay out here because I think I need to. I'm pretty sure Maverick knows what to do down there. There's the weakness. Let's do it. By the way, the name of that is Shattered Ego. The debuff that makes him vulnerable. And now, we've got this crap on the ground. More of the, cancerous pustule thing. Whoop, 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 whoop. Coming. Trying to come. Failing it. Okay, wow. I couldn't reach you in time. That does a lot of damage. Yep. I literally couldn't get in range quickly enough. So I'll go into the void hole next time. Show it off. Ironically, help would probably make this harder, Lineruth. We'll do one more attempt. If I can't reach you that quickly, then yeah, I'll kick you out of here. Just so I can get the run over with. Oh. Alright. Tentacle time.
Closed. Come, mortals. Glimpse the infinite truths.
So, I've talked about this before. Quite a few bosses in this game are specially coded to not... Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't even notice. I didn't know he could do it in Phase 1. Wow. Quite a few bosses are coded to not do certain mechanics if they don't have a valid target for the mechanic. Usually that means, like, not having a tank or only having one player, right? Stuff like that. So, if you are solo, he doesn't cast Paranoia on you because it effectively doesn't have a valid target.
The way opens. Come, walk the path to power.
I guess I'll get you a better shot here. That Paranoia does so much damage. Is that percentage based? Nope, it was just hitting for millions. Wow. Just straight up.
Betrayers, abandon your resistance.
Now we have Shattered Ego.
The void beckons.
Probably Huthor. If this wipes again, I'll put the cloak on, see if that changes anything. It arguably shouldn't. But I did pull the thing out just in case I needed it. At least I thought I did. I swore I did. I even hit the bank for that. There it is. Oh, right. I can't do that while I'm dead. Whatever. It's right there. That is funny, Huthor. In need. If I'd been more on it, I would have survived that. I just legitimately didn't notice the second time. The first time I couldn't reach him in time. 1 million damage a second. That's not a big window of opportunity. What? One, ironically, off the deeper end. We tried it with 3 once. 3 people who were geared and ready and looked up the strats. We couldn't do it. That was in Dragonflight, to be clear.
Champions, we're charging the Forge! The Forge is nearly charged, champions! Hang in there!
The Titan's playthings.
Champions! N'Zoth is bridging dimensions to assault the Chamber of Heart!
Warning.
We have to defeat him before he corrupts the soul of Azeroth!
The true...
Champions! We're overrun! We can't fire!
Dimensional gateway established.
Mother opened a gateway to the chamber! Champions! Azeroth needs your aid!
Dear WoW, give me a watch other players option while I'm dead. Please. Yeah, this is our mythic only phase.
The forge is nearly charged, champions. Hang in there!
Your world is mine.
Warning, corruption levels approaching 100%.
No! You got to keep fighting, champion!
Through your flesh, my Black Empire is reborn.
Don't listen to his lies! You don't belong to him! You're a child of Azeroth! Her strength is your strength!
Attention! New anchor point acquired.
Well then, what are you waiting for?
Acknowledged. Firing sequence initiated.
Hold on, champion!
Why? That was awesome! Sorry. Okay. Why would anyone... What's the reasoning for disliking that scene? It even makes perfect sense. We've been running around... It is admittedly the same plot point from Legion again. People didn't like that the player character got the kill. They're high! We've been running around the whole expansion gathering more and more and more Azurite into this necklace and empowering it more and more. So, when the re-origination beam fired, it fired through us. We became the targeting reticule.
Accessing breeding database. Hello.
You and me both, Bragman.
Stones have tails to tell.
Yeah, that was awesome. What the hell? It worked. You are the final anchor that let us turn the Forge's power against N'Zoth. Thanks to that heart you wear, Ny'alotha's threat is gone for good. Celebration will have to wait, though. The old god forces hit the chamber hard. We gotta get repairs underway. I think what would have happened if he captured it.
Back to work!
Yeah, no, we frickety did it. Actually, you know what? I can see that, Light of all. Do we just walk out? Are we done? I guess we're done. There's plus to story.
This cannot be. The Black
Yep. Hang on. It might not have shown for me because I was dead. Give me 1 second while I get this set up. I'm sorry. I know that differences of opinion exist. I know that Blade Deval hates every cutscene that exists in WoW. That's fine. But, like, the idea of WoW players getting to that cutscene and seeing us get the kill on N'Zoth and thinking that's a bad thing? What, do they want Thrall to show up at the last second and kill steal us again? Like, he just comes out of the portal with a chair, right? And Thrall with a chair! And there you go. He kill steals us. Boom, we're done.
Terragard? I don't know, boss. Sounds risky.
That's why we're not bringing the crew. Not until we know more.
Oh no, we killed another old god. Our third... Hang on, let me get my third notch of my belt. There we go. Alright, hold up. Hem. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. I mean, I don't think it's the best cutscene ever, but I actually liked that. And I was like, yeah! And then everyone's like, no, it's dumb. And I'm like, wait, what? Remember, all of Ny'alotha, all of the Black Empire, is them. It's his flesh. So, you know. I do like how the whole thing just starts dissipating in the black background. That was actually really nice. Did you see that? Watch the clouds, right? Like, the clouds stop being clouds, which makes sense. Remember, this is a pocket dimension. This isn't, like, the actual Black Empire. No, that's cool. I like it. I like it. I am with it. YouTube comments. Never stop being the cancerous mass that you are.
I speak for Azeroth.
You did it! N'Zoth's forces are scattered and his grip on the world is fading. You truly are a champion of Azeroth.
Remember your since being wounded by the Mad Titan. Azeroth has been crying out in pain. In her hour of need, she lent you her power. Today, at long last, she's free from the grasp of the old gods. Her song rings clear and strong throughout this chamber. Hold her heart with pride. Know that you are more than a champion of your people. You are a champion of Azeroth!
I like how they added the physics to that for that scene, by the way.
Azeroth cries out in pain. Her world must be...
Yeah, Zalash has not done the war campaign, no. In fact, I've only done the war campaign twice now. But you know what I mean. 4 times total, if we count both. Yeah, Azeroth is like, get this stupid sword out of me! Ah! Okay, so here's a random thought. Where do we get that quest, Uther? Because I was actually thinking about that. I know the one you're talking about, but I don't remember where it starts. Ah, yes. So hang on.
I speak for Azeroth. Remember your duty to Azeroth.
There's a chance this might wake out.
It seems our fates are intertwined.
Actually, you know what? That's a good point. Maybe don't just yank the sword out. That might actually kill the planet. Like, she's already not doing great. There it is.
Let's talk. Farewell.
The leaders of the Horde are gathering together in Orgrimmar to nominate a new war chief. As champion of the Horde, your presence at the meeting has been requested. The gathering will be held at the embassy in Orgrimmar. I'll be going ahead. Come speak with me when you arrive at Orgrimmar. I'll be waiting with the others. Make haste. The future of the Horde is about to be decided.
Champion, head for Orgrimmar at your earliest convenience. I will meet you there.
Yep, just yank out the sword.
Mountain stands.
Alright, who do you think should be war chief? I was thinking Varrock, but he's dead, so we can't use Varrock. Let's see. It could be me. We could be the new war chief. I'm with that. Gallywix! Perfect! I'm excited to accept this position as war chief of the Horde. I, Gammon, will be your war chief.
I wouldn't cross me if I were you. Without a trace. Aldiel Shala. Without a trace.
The Alliance has sent word. They have agreed to the armistice. This bitter war is finally over.
At last, we can begin to heal our wounded Earth Mother, and the wounded Horde as well.
One question remains. Who will serve as war chief? Perhaps you, Thrall?
No. I told Sarvang I would not lead the Horde again. But perhaps the question is not who should become war chief, but whether there should be one at all.
Though the Horde has changed through the years, for good or ill, we have always looked to a war chief to guide us forward.
That legacy must end. The war nearly cost us everything. There is no place for a war chief in a time of peace.
It is true. The Horde has changed. Our ranks have grown, and new voices have stepped forth to lead. This is what makes us strong. All of us, building a new future, together.
About goddamn time. 'Cause yeah, I'm sorry, that really has always been the Horde. Family. It's been their identity since Warcraft 3. Now, I know what you're saying. There was a Horde before that. No. The Horde. The only organization I call the Horde, which is Thrall's Horde, has always been about family. Outcasts and exiles who needed each other and helped each other to get through a hostile life and and a world that wanted to kill them. Yeah. All of them working together? Yes! I'm with Kira Whitenoise. War Chief being a temporary position in moments of crisis makes perfect sense. We have stuff like that in real life, for God's sakes. Never mind the Roman dictators. But the Horde should be run by a council. There's just too many of them. And the whole thematic core of the Horde is all about being that group united.
The pleasure is mine.
No longer a war chief of the Horde. Seems we've been made witness to a beginning of a new era.
They'll never see me coming.
Yeah, it's right there in the name. War Chief. Bane said it best. There's no place for a war chief at times of peace. Thrall kind of broke the rules there by sheer virtue of being frickin' Thrall and having the respect of basically everyone. and having bigger things going on. He kind of yoked the Horde together, but that was always something that wasn't going to last. And it didn't. The moment Thrall let go of the reins, in the lead up to Cataclysm, it went to hell. And it essentially never stopped going to hell. That's true, J. Palmer. Thrall kill-stole the position of War Chief. Damn it, Thrall! That was my job! You were the chosen one! Anyways. Ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We're done. We did it. We beat BFA today. Your BFA is over. All right. It is better and worse than I remember, but mostly better. I think it's going to score pretty well. Let's go here. Let's get some music going while we do the audit. I've already done the overwhelming majority of the audit off camera. So this is going to be just wrapping up and doing some formulas. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, do you think BFA beat Legion? I just want to get on with it right now. Or that's okay. Especially since we'll see it again tomorrow anyways, right? So this should be... Okay, so we're going to hear Borealis, but it should play the really awesome song right here. Legion score. Hang on, let me pull that up here. Let me get all this going here. A troll, J. Palmer. If I'm remembering correctly. I'll have to look it up, though, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Yep, there's the song. So Legion scored something that's not on the screen. 377.84. Carried almost entirely by its story axis. That's right, my reward for beating BFA is I get to do Shadowlands! Where's my bat? Where's my bat? I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready. Okay, for real though. Let's do some math here. All right, so I need this over here. Okay, so I need my screens to start working correctly again. Oh, geez, come on! Don't do this to me! Don't do this to me! I'm so looking forward to Shadowlands. You have no idea. There's only two ways Shadowlands can go. Really. It's exactly as bad as I remember, or it's somehow way better. I don't think it's going to be the second. We'll see. No, exactly, Huthor. It's going to be fun. We're just going to go in. Absolutely gush about the visuals. Shadowlands looks really, really, really good. Like, Ouroboros is the only exception, right? The odds of it being worse than I remembered is extraordinarily low, Pillars of Snow. Kurthia. We'll talk about Kurthia later. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Oh, I've never done that. Hang on, now I gotta do that. I gotta try that. Real quick, before I do the math. You can get there quickly. Do this. It's funny you say that off to Deeper End, because as of this moment in time, BFA has 97 negatives to story. That's pretty bad. I think it's the most negatives to story we've given any expansion so far. Maybe tomorrow, Trex, yeah. Is it up? It's up. Right, it is. The most positive? Legion, so far. By a huge margin. Legion kind of crushed on the story axis. For as much as it did wrong. Oh, it doesn't change it much. Wait, do I not have... Oh, God, I don't have it, do I? Damn. Hang on. I figured the toy would do it. But it obviously didn't. Meh. So I don't have an inky black potion on me, so I was gonna come to Oribos and see what it looked like with that. I figured the shade scale would accomplish the same thing, but it didn't. It barely changed it. Anyways, this is Shadowlands. Hey, check it out. That's true. There happened by coincidence. There's an auction house right here. Oh, that's cheap. That's a pittance. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Much better. Let's head topside. I hate this town so much. It's not the worst town in the game. Or is it? I mean, it's this or Exodar, am I right? Okay, I thought I could get outside up top. God. Hang on. At least they let us fly here. Could you imagine if they didn't? Well, good news. I know I can get out here because I've been out here. Yeah, that looks interesting. Although... Yeah, hang on. Nope, that didn't actually do anything. Oh, well, this feels like the perfect thing. Hi, Thessarian. To lead into the math here. So we'll just leave that there for a second. Okay, math. I need to do math. I don't even like the music. It's not the worst music, it's just I don't like it. As I mentioned before, I barely remember the music of Shadowlands. I'm very curious to hear a lot of it. Like, I remember the song in Revendreth. Yeah, that's really memorable and easy to remember. And that's kind of it, honestly. Yeah, that's... Wow, that looks much cooler. Why did they get rid of that? Well, I'm kind of... Oh, I'm on this phase. That's probably why right there. Oh, whatever. I tried. I failed. It's a Tuesday. Or I suppose a Wednesday in this case. What? Okay. Sorry, Huthor. You're gonna have to be a normie for a bit. If you can withstand it. 3972. God dang. This is actually the third longest expansion. Well, yeah. No, this is the third longest. God, BFA was way too long. So Legion was 87 hours. BFA was 73 hours. And, of course, Cataclysm is the absolutely monstrous 185 hours chonker of Doom. Try to be shot. Nothing is ever going to beat Kata in terms of sheer size. There's no way. Ladies and gentlemen, a net positive gameplay score. Holy crap. I mean, Kata cheated, right? It had 2 continents of remixed content. Varying levels of remixed content, actually. Yes, Mr. Red. This is always the boring part of the audit. I've thought about doing this off camera several times, but every time I do, it just doesn't work quite right. It is quite possible for Shadowlands to get a net positive gameplay score. Of all my many complaints about that game, about that expansion, excuse me, gameplay was not one of them. Hey, Ross. It will, however, get both bug negatives and co-op negatives. It was actually one of the worst expansions to group with a friend in years. Since Kata, I'd say. Possibly more than Kata. Like, it was back to Wrath levels of issues. And things not sharing. Well, that's a damn shame, Yura, because I'm still giving those negatives. Sorry. Stuff bugging out. Issues with quests not firing properly. And stuff not sharing, which is the big one, by a huge margin. I'm sorry. MMOs should have share. I don't even feel the need to explain that. Unless you're going forever quest style game design, which is valid, stuff should share. Okay. Let's go back to the actually good song. If it's a part of a quest you haven't reached yet, then you're not on the quest, so it can't share. Although there's ways to fix that, too. Got my old trusty blunderbuss here. Nice shot of the city. Actually, let's go with... No, that's a good shot of the city. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Yes! Xylom, just pose. I gave you the nice suit, just pose. Be grateful. You could be a high mountain Tauren. This is his last day on the job. I think he could pose for a few minutes. Where do you think he'd settle? Obviously, he wouldn't settle in Storm Song. Let's just move that off the board. So, somewhere in Tiragard or somewhere in Drustvar? What do you think? Keep in mind, canonically, he's Mark's spec. Borealis would be Tiragard. I was actually thinking up by Norwington. We've already impressed Norwington, right? And Lord knows we have the money to just become a noble, buy our way into nobility. You know what? Good idea. He's decided to settle in Nesmere. Does anyone settle in Nesmere? No, he won't be a candidate, you know. Well, Nyloth is God, though. He can't settle there. He settles into Nazmir, and then it sinks into the swamp. So he settles a second time in Nazdir, and it sinks into the swamp. Okay. He settles in the Crucible of Storms. I hope all that flesh goes away and doesn't, rot. Because that's going to be a hell of a cleanup job. Like that. That doesn't sound great. I'm just doing my double checks right now. I'm almost done, I swear. I don't like to make mistakes at the final minute, you know? So which expansion do you think we should compare this alongside directly? Legion's the obvious choice. BC? Okay, it crushes BC like a bug. There you go, boom, done. I can tell you that before I even finish doing the double checks. So, Vanilla WoW. I'm not even reviewing Vanilla. You want me to compare it to Pandaria? I agree with that. Pandaria got a net plus 192 to story. Now that's not as high, but that was a solid 3.5 pluses per hour and an 88% ratio, which is very good. BFA had 343 pluses to story, which is huge, and 4.6 per hour, which is better, but an 81% ratio, which is substantially lower. Gameplay-wise, Pandaria managed a net plus 26, with 0.7 per hour and a 62% ratio. BFA managed a net plus 18, with a 0.25 density and a 56% ratio. You're probably wondering about the final score, so let me give you the bronze number here, shall we? Let's go through the whole list, shall we? Burning Crusade got a negative 304. Wrath of the Lich King got 84. Cataclysm got 479, mostly because of sheer just the amount of stuff that was in it. Pandaria got 600. Well, actually, we'll come back to Pandaria. Warlords got 189, and then Legion got 377. So, Pandaria had a net bronze number of 634.99. 634. BFA gets a net bronze number of 600. $17.04 in punching range of Pandaria, but not quite managing it. Still, that makes it our second best so far. And, you know, I kind of vibed that. Legion should have taken that throne, but it couldn't. It just kept screwing up with the order halls. And it kept screwing up with the frickin'... God, like, the Broken Shore padding was awful. Suramar. Okay. Go get 1,000 mana. Or sorry, it was 800 mana. Then get 1,000 mana. And the goddamn mission table. Legion should have that, but it doesn't. Now, they ever do a Legion remix, excuse me, Legion will probably reclaim that throne. No, it does. That's the thing. This is not about personal opinion, as weird as that sounds. This is not about which one I prefer the most. This is about which one we measure and figure out, okay, where exactly does it sit? BFA also, I mean, they're all that way, Mr. Red. BFA also had multiple really, really, really good cutscenes in it. So it got to actually claim credit for those. I'm tired. Tomorrow we start Shadowlands. This is going to sound weird, but if Shadowlands scores better than Legion, I'm going to actually cry. I'm just gonna start bawling right here on camera. No, there's no way. There is no way. You can quote me. You can quote me it. There is no way in hell. Now, for real, before I chop off, for real, prediction. Do you think Shadowlands will score better than Wrath? Because I think that's its actual competition. I really do. I think that's the range. I think that's its punching range. And the problem is, you're probably thinking, but Shadowlands sucks. Think about how these reviews go. We cover each quest. We cover all of the side content. We cover all the dungeons. There's a lot of modern game design in Shadowlands that's going to push that gameplay score up, right? It might beat Warlords. Warlords is sitting pretty far down the bottom there. I think Warlords is, like, the cap, as weird as that sounds. I don't think it's going to go past... looks like Cataclysm is the next one up. No, I'm wrong. It's Legion. Sorry. Like, I can't see a 370 range. Even at MMO scale, I can't see that. Do I think it'll beat BC? It'll crush BC. There's no way it won't. But, find out about all that tomorrow. I'll see you guys.